Well, hello my YouTube friend. Today it is an honor and a pleasure to present you this marvelous piece, and I'm gonna try to make it the faster as possible because there are a lot of things to say. Since we are not here speaking about your regular knife maker, even if we just consider the custom knife world, we are talking here about somebody that is like, one of the elite of knife making, as an artist, as a craftsman. Deryk Munroe is just on another level, and this is something that I want to address on this video, and I really want to make sure that you got my point on this. I am not here presenting a regular knife. I'm presenting a piece of art, even if it's coated and presented in a package that looks like one of the best EDC you can find. And this is the angle I want to use on this video. Actually, I want to part the video in three, let's say three, yeah. First of all, a small reminder of how I got to be the lucky owner of that knife, then present the knife as a knife itself, as a tool, and then again, the third part would be hopefully the, the bigger one, the artistry and the details, the craziness of the detail on that knife. So yeah, one word about what happened with that knife. So for those of you who follow me, you remember the sad story about me and the Sigil. I was doomed with those knives. I'm literally doomed because if you remember, like a year and a half ago, I bought a knife like that on the secondary market. Like, you know how the secondary market was at that time, and still is. And the knife was stolen by the agents of FedEx, because I just got an empty package, which was, kind of depressing because I lost the money and I lost the knife. In order to wait what? I don't know, but I decided to get a Marfion collaboration. That has trouble. So I paid also a crazy secondary on this one, and it went back and forth to Tony that did, whatever he had to do, but it took some time. So for quite a while, I had I don't know how much invested on those Sigil, and not even a piece of that. I just received lately back the Marfion collaboration, and this is actually the end of this sad story, because in the meanwhile time, I met Deryk, Sage, and Jenna Monroe, absolutely fantastic people, and of course they were really sad about what happened to me, and Deryk told me that eventually he would make me a knife, which he did, and delivered it to me during Blade 2016. At least I get to have this knife not only at the table price, but made specifically for me. And that is an absolute honor. You know how I am. I like when makers make knives for me. It brings, of course, something more at the table, especially when it's a knife like that. Now, sorry about that. I think it's the first one that I missed an opening on this knife. Now, I want to talk about the knife after that reminder. The knife, as you can see, is, or probably, is one hell of a user. And this is something that makes me want to have this finish. I certainly didn't want to have a dressy finish on this one, because that design is just phenomenal. I cannot imagine a better design for an EDC. And it's a sturdy knife. I'm gonna look at those thick slabs of titanium. They're humongous. We are talking here S90V. That's a tremendously sorry about that, strong metal. Edge retention is at its best. The slab, look at that. I mean, the solidity, the sturdiness of this knife is unmatched for a knife that is that small and that easy to carry. And that light, and I'm going to tell you why, and I'll show you why it's not that heavy, as heavy as it could be, especially with the accent of copper and superconductor. So absolutely fantastic knife. The ergos are just phenomenal. The blade is like 3.5, and with most of the slant in cutting edge. A nice choil here for front cutting tasks. A jimping that is just, in a way that was a little bit weird to me at first glance, but it's very, very useful. Believe me, at any position of the grip, this is a very, very useful grip. The guard is perfect. I mean, it cuts like nothing. Of course, you can expect a great edge retention. The lock geometry is perfect. Look at this engagement. I mean, that won't budge, believe me. That's one hell of a solid knife. Internal stop pin, but it works perfectly. Now the action, you have a flipper that, as you can see, is snappy as anything. Then again, you have this big groove that is, to me, one of the greatest way of deployment, because you can use the index, you can use the middle finger, you can use the fourth finger, and for some of you that I met at Blade, they can even use the pinky, which I cannot. And of course, you can use the thumb for this deployment. One hell of a versatility for opening. That's just great. I like that, and it provides a design that is just, look at that. It looks almost like a threatening beast. I don't with a big eye like that, like a condor or whatever, an eagle. I don't know. It's like the Predator, something crazy coming from out of space, So that knife right there with those ergos, with this very organic and functional blade shape is just fantastic. Then it comes also with a package, and that's not the functionality of the knife, but I wanted to talk about that also rapidly. The package is just fantastic. Look at that. You have this box coming from Munroe Knives. Then you have this all those goodies there, which says that everything about the knife. You have some scent. Unfortunately, you have only the image and the sound here, but I wish you could scent and you could smell the scent of this bag that is just phenomenal. So very nice packaging. I absolutely love that. What can I say about the knife itself? Yeah, that is, as I said, one of the sturdiest and smaller package that you can find. So if just you needed to have a knife, that would suffice for your EDC. And if I had, and I will leave it at that, because that maybe it would speak volume. If I had to keep one folder, okay, for like EDC task and everything, I swear to you that I would keep the Sigil, and in a heartbeat. And not other knife could bring me as sturdiness, as small package, as versatility as this knife. So that would be my choice if I had to pick one knife, and that I think is sufficient. Now, I cannot say more than that, Now let's talk about the art, because this is something else. The knife itself would be sufficient, but now let's check about the art. Look at this scale. We're going to start with the scale, and actually the more important is on the scale. The contouring, the work of carving, look at that. I mean, you have this carving here. So this is the Mk4. There is even more carving on the Mk4 than the Mk3. Then you have this carving here, but you have the lines here following on the edge. Look at that. Look at the edge. I don't know, 1, 2, 3, how many lines you have all the way around. Look at that. The contouring around the screws here. Fantastic. Just crazy. And you have the same on the other side, of course. A tremendous work of carving around there. There is no dot when there's no work on this knife. Check now those lines and those dots. Those, ladies and gentlemen, are inlays of copper. Can you imagine that? It's totally flush. Can you imagine to inlay how tedious it must be to inlay those pieces of copper? Now check this flush color of superconductor. All the way around it's flush. Look at this custom pivot with the dots of copper. Isn't that insane? Look at this custom pivot on the other side, way better than when it used to be on the Mk3, because it used to have like the lock bar stop, and on this one the lock bar stop is inside, which is just fantastic. It's just attached to the steel insert. Great idea. This way you have this custom pivot that looks just fantastic. All your inlays on this side too. Tremendous amount of work and detail on this pivot, color, and inlays. Just fantastic. This, you might think that this is the relief cut with some, nice, deep holes there, but not at all. the relief cut is on the inside. Look at that. That's just for the heck of it, and the art. You have some cutting here, but not only the art. It releases some of the material, and this is why this knife is going to be, not as heavy as you might think with those slabs of titanium. I mean, it needed to have that thickness in order to make those carving, because of course you're relieving some material here. So of course you need some really thick slabs of titanium, but you're going to have some cut all the way around. You have some cuts here, but more importantly, you have some cuts. I'm going to try to show it to you inside, and this is what the craziness. Look at that. I mean, let me try to catch that. Oh, you see that now, okay? Inside here, you have a cut on the inside, just as Rexford does also. And you have a cut. I'm going to try to show it to you in the best way. I'm going to have a lamp here. Let me see if I can... Oh, hell. Okay, let me see if I can show you that. Okay, you see that. You see the cut on the inside, right? Of course you can see it. So I'm not going to waste the time. You have cuts like that everywhere inside. So this knife not only has a tremendous amount of work on the outside, but on the inside, it has a lot of cuts that not only look great, but relieve some material. So that's why, even though the thick slabs of titanium are there, it releases some material and you gain some weight. But also you have that, look at that on the blade, on this part of the blade. And on this part of the blade, look at that. I don't know if it's any useful. Of course, it releases some material, so you gain weight. But it's a way also to express your art. And you find that almost everywhere. This is, I mean, the work, as you can see, is crazy. Look at that. I mean, even on both sides of the flipper tab. Look at that. How crazy is that? There is not a dot on this knife where you won't find a crazy amount of work, a tremendous amount of work, and contouring and carving and whatever. It may look to you, like I said, as a simple knife, and this is where the genius stands. The knife looks simple, but if you put attention to the details involved on this knife, you will find something that you will never find elsewhere. When I mean literally never elsewhere. Now check the back spacer. Superconductor, and this is one of the rarest piece because it's the original one with the nice look at those even layers. It's not the regular, I mean the one that you see now nowadays that is kind of dull. This one is just the magnificent piece of original superconductor with those astounding how you call it? Oh, come on, standoffs in copper. Look how beautiful it is from this side. Look at that. It's just, oh, come on, man. I don't know what to say, and I think the best way to appreciate this knife is the eye candy. Look how the carving goes also with the relief cut for the finger here to disengage the lock, and you even have that on the other side, which is absolutely not useful, but only for make it even and for the art. This is just in order to make it even here. Fantastic, that's just great. The action, as I said, yeah, you see no thickness whatsoever. Look at this centering is great. I haven't talked about the blade, but the work on the blade also is just tremendous. Look at this bird's eye here. The cut that you have here on the swedge makes it, look at that. This is, look at the sturdiness of the tip. This will thrust like nothing, slice like nothing, just crazy. The steel insert is great, and as I said, and I'm not going to be able to show it to you, you have the piece of steel insert that is just, oh yeah, you see it. You can tell here beneath my finger that there is the lock bar stop in the inside. And we are heading to the 15 minutes. I'm sure that I missed a lot of things, but hopefully I was able to convey you that the appearance are not anything. And in order to appreciate that knife, you would have to take some time to have it in hand, to take your magnifying lens or whatever, glasses, and to put some, some light on it, and take some time to look at the precision work, at the details there. Look at that. Even the clip, I haven't talked about the clip, a small clip like that, very sturdy with those, jimping here, and also the lines here around the clip. I mean, I could spend all day, but I have only 15 minutes, so I'm going to leave it at that. And it was a pleasure. Hope you liked it like I did. Bye-bye, my friends.